Everybody ready? Let's go. Good evening, everyone. Roll call, please.
Ms. Corte? Dr. Lopez? Ms. Guadagnino?
Yes, here.
Mr. Davis?
Here.
Mr. Socio?
Here.
Mr. Andrews?
Here.
Mayor Womack?
Here. Sunshine notice, please.
Need to mute your mic.
Has been provided by publication in the Home News and Tribune on January 2nd, 2020, indicating that the North Brunswick Township Council hold regular meetings on the first and third Monday of each month at 7 p.m. at 710 Herman Road, North Brunswick, and agenda meetings on the second and fourth Monday of the month at the same place at 7 p.m. In the event a regular meeting falls on a legal holiday, the meeting shall be held on Tuesday night after said holiday at the same place and hour.
Ms. Russo, would you please lead us? Well, this is our agenda meeting, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So first item on the agenda will be Ms. Gallimore and the bill list.
Hi, Mayor.
Good
Hi,
evening.
council members. I have 3 items tonight, and the first one is the bill list. Does anyone have any question on the bill list? All right, the second item is a resolution to use storm recovery reserves for a coronavirus response. This resolution is in compliance with the local finance notice that we received from DLGS. And it's just to use the storm recovery funds that we have for any response to coronavirus. Any questions on that one?
Thank you.
Okay, the third item is a resolution to credit residents for the fees that they would pay if they pay their utility or tax payments online. Due to the state of emergency, most of our residents now we're encouraging them and asking them to make the payments online. So for those who would normally come in to make check payments or cash payments, what this resolution does is give them a credit for that processing fee that they would normally be charged when they make their payments online.
So in other words, just no processing fee when you pay online if we pass this.
Well, they will still have to pay the processing fee. What we would do is just give them a credit on their next bill.
Okay. Anyone have questions on that? Thank you, Ms. Gallimore.
Thank you.
Ms. Benson.
I just want to say I'm here.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Lopez. Again, we all appreciate everything you're doing out there.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it too. I appreciate you guys, your appreciation.
Ms. Benson?
Good evening, Mayor Mack, council, and residents joining us. I'm just going to touch upon a few programs to provide update and some directions for our residents. Our Senior Citizens Meals on Wheels program and senior transportation continue to run. There are no issues. We're serving our seniors, and calls are made Monday through Friday to our homebound seniors as wellness calls to ensure everyone is doing well. For any senior in need of assistance, we are encouraging you to phone 732-418-2222 or 732-735-9232. That second number is the Township hotline. Mayor and council, do you have any questions on that item? My second area is in regards to the parks. Our parks are open with safe social distancing for walking, biking, and running. Remember, residents, when parking in the lots, please leave spaces in between the car that is next to you so we can keep with the guidelines for safe social distancing. Our park rangers are throughout the township park system daily and in the evening hours and will assist anyone with any questions, of course, keeping that safe social distancing. Looking ahead to the month of May, the DPRCS traditional 5K run and walk is currently up on the township website as a virtual event. That is open now for participation, which will continue through until Monday, May 25th at 1 p.m. At that time, we're asking everyone to ensure that they've recorded their times, whether they're walking or running. And then at the end of that day, May 25th, sometime late in the afternoon, the leaderboard will come up with everyone's result, whether you have logged in walking or running. Most important, following the 5K run and walk, is the Township Memorial Day ceremony, honoring those lives that made the ultimate sacrifice. That ceremony is usually conducted at Veterans Memorial, but this year that event will be shown through a virtual program, and events will be shown throughout the month of May daily to pay tribute on the township website. Last but not least in any way, it's to our residents, please continue to follow the DPRCS Facebook and Instagram page as we have daily posted events and activities for our residents to enjoy, to stay connected during these times. Thank you, and I hope everyone remains safe.
Thank you, Ms. Benson. Does anyone have any questions for Ms. Benson? Thank you, Ms. Benson. Director McCormick?
Hi, Mayor. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can.
Hi, it's Director McCormick. I have two items. One, and Ron, you might have to jump in and help me with, because there was some fine tuning on this. But the tow ordinance, we found that there was a built-in multiplier on there of 10%, and it was going to make the fees, if we let that continue, the fees for towing would have surpassed what we would feel would be reasonable. So we decided to take that out and set the fees. Some of the changes are towing for light duty set at 125 for 115. Daytime 125. I'm sorry, nighttime would be 135. Vehicles registered between 6,000 and 12,000 pounds will be charged $150. This is also Monday to Friday daytime, and change the fee from $163.20 to $175, which will cover nights, weekends, and holidays. And like I said, we would remove that 10% increase per year, which we saw that as being just eventually $200 for a tow. We thought that was unreasonable. We looked at surrounding towns, which is comparable to the rates that they're charging, so it's not exorbitant, and we feel it's okay. Am I on with that, Ron?
Mayor, Director McCormick, yes, those are accurate statements of the changes that were made in our code provision, and as we had previously adopted the towing storage fees and the towing fees, we had built in a 10% annual increase, and this specifically eliminates the 10% annual increase, and it sets the fees more in keeping with what the surrounding towns are, and it holds the line, if you will, on the towing fees, and at the same time provides a reasonable return for the services that are being charged.
Any questions? Okay, second, $15,000. It runs from July.
Ken, I don't think we can hear you on that.
I think Ken's got a connection
One.
issue at the moment.
Until the 20. Okay.
All right, so I think
How
for
about
the
now?
moment, we can hear you now, Ken.
Hear me now?
We can hear you.
Okay, next is a pedestrian safety grant, $15,000. Runs from July of 2020 until May 31st of 21. It covers $55 an hour in overtime, and it's for pedestrian safety initiatives such as crosswalk enforcement, things like that. That's all I have.
Any questions on that for Director McCormick?
Just wondering, is this a matching grant, Ken, or is this just straight up cash?
They provide the $55 an hour, and we have to cover the remaining amount for the overtime. So if the officer's rate is $75 an hour, we have to cover the $25 above. It's $20 above 55.
Cool. All right, thanks.
Okay.
Anyone else? And before we go to Director Chazar, I was remiss in not welcoming new Councilwoman Clarabelle Cortez to her first agenda meeting. As always, you can just turn to whoever's next to you and ask for help if you need it. That's the way we always do with new Councilwomen. Don't.
Will do.
But Clarabelle, don't hesitate to speak up if you have any questions or if you're concerned about anything. Just jump right in, okay?
Will do. I know Bob Davis gave me permission to kick him under the table, so maybe next time.
Yeah.
When you do that, Clarabelle, can you please bring him a razor? He really needs to shave.
Will do. I think he looks great, but okay.
Give him a kick for not shaving.
Got it. Well, thank you, everyone.
Director Chazar.
Good afternoon, Mayor, and good afternoon, Council. Two items this evening. First is authorizing award of contract to Municipal Maintenance Company for the maintenance and repair of our sewer lift stations. Any questions? Second one is authorizing a contract with Sanitation Equipment Corp for replacement parts for our automated truck bodies. Any questions?
How are they holding up?
They're doing pretty good. Landfill gives them a little, struggle, but, we're keeping them together.
Are the newer ones any better with, hydraulics and stuff like that? Because I know we've had issues with all that kind of stuff.
Well, back in the day, Carlo, it used to be all about the hydraulic problems. The pressure was too strong. Since those days, they've cut back on the pressure. But our overall problem with these trucks going to the landfill are the hydraulics over electronics and air over electronics. The landfill doesn't like the computers, I'll tell you that. And, if you take your personal computer on a joyride in the car, it really roughs it up. So it's pretty much kind of the same thing. But they're holding together pretty good.
Cool.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mayor.
Director Ritt.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Just two items this evening. The first item is an ordinance which will finally complete and establish our Title 39 authority throughout all of Renaissance, the entire development. So this adds Title 39 authority for the police in the remaining half dozen communities that have never had Title 39. The second item this evening is a bond reduction. It's not a release, and so no public hearing is necessary. This is a bond reduction for the commercial property known as North Brunswick Marketplace, and that incorporates the Quick Check and Wendy's on Route 1. Does anybody have any questions? Thank you.
On that? Thank you. Ms. Monzo.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I have 3 items. The first item is a resolution authorizing the execution of a shared service agreement between North Brunswick Township and the City of New Brunswick for animal control and shelter services with veterinary care. So we've had an uninterrupted service with our agreement with New Brunswick, and that's continuing to work. We made a few modifications to the agreement, but we've really been without an agreement, formal agreement, since the beginning of last year. So we wanted to make sure that we finalized the items and got this in place. They've had a changeover of people, and we've had some other issues that we've been trying to deal with. We've had to change the shelter services, so that was a big part of the agreement, and New Brunswick went through a process to find the shelter that they're using right now. And it seems to be working. So this would be to formalize the agreement between us and allow for a 1-year extension through 2021. Any questions on that? The second item is a resolution appointing Justine Progobin to the position of interim business administrator. So as you're all aware, I'm winding down on my time here with the Township of North Brunswick, and this would be an authorization for Justine to have the position of interim business administrator upon my separation from the township. Any questions on that? It would be for a term for the remainder of my term, which is, I believe, through 2023. The last item is a resolution authorizing the reduction of interest on delinquent taxes and delinquent water and sewer bills and amounts. If you recall, at reorganization, each year you do a resolution to set the delinquent interest rate, and it's basically a blended rate of 8% on the first $1,500 and 18% on amounts over $1,500. That's the maximum allowed by state law, and that's what's generally set each year for, again, delinquent taxes or other municipal charges, including water and sewer amounts that are delinquent. And so this resolution, in essence, is reducing that to 0 for this upcoming tax quarter. So effective May 1st and for 90 days through the end of July to August 1st, which is the next tax quarter. This would reduce that interest. So we've gotten a lot of, or some requests from residents as to what's going to happen, especially with the May 1st tax bill that's due. And so this is something that's within the mayor and council's authority to do. I want to be clear that, you, and I'm sure you're all aware, but the municipal governing body doesn't have the authority to change the tax due date of May 1st. They can't change that due date. That's set by state statute. And they also, you're not allowed or authorized to extend the grace period. Normally you have a 10-day grace period. That's what's allowable by law. You do that every year, but you're not allowed to extend that and make that larger than the 10 days. Again, that has to be done at the state level. So we have gotten word that we don't think that there's any change coming down from the state for the tax due date or for the grace period. So by changing the delinquent interest rate on this quarter's taxes, in essence, you're sort of extending that due date because you're giving them some additional time to pay without a penalty. I also wanted to point out one other item too. So we're a fiscal year town. There's only a few of us left in this municipality. And that being said, we do an annual tax sale. That's required by law as well, to do enforcement of delinquent taxes, and that's done through a tax sale. Our tax sale is always at the end of June, so it's about the third week in June. And so I just want to make sure, and we're going to have to come up with ways to communicate this to the residents as well, that even though they may not have delinquent interest on their May 1st tax bill or tax payment, if they're unable to make it, they, it still becomes subject to tax sale in June. So it buys them a little bit of time, but it really doesn't buy them a whole lot of time in terms of staying out of the tax sale. So I just want to make sure that we're clear about that to residents, because if you do approve the reduction in the interest, then we want to make sure that we let them know these other items too.
Catherine,
Yes.
and I just want to point out that it's true. While the council believes it's appropriate, if the council believes it's appropriate and does waive the interest, when, as you say, when it goes to what we call a tax sale, that doesn't mean that the town is foreclosing on your house or selling your house or taking your house or anything. It means that we're selling the liens that exist to another party.
Right.
It's not necessarily a situation people want to be in, but it is not
Right.
that the houses will be sold or foreclosed upon at that time. Am I correct?
That's correct. All we're really doing when we're doing the tax sale is selling the delinquent taxes. And so we're collecting those usually from a third party that will then put a lien on the property. So, but it is not foreclosure. We're not selling the property right then and there. They certainly would have to, take it seriously that there would be a lien on the property. But other than that, it's not, they're not losing the property at that point. And so, but again, as you said, it's not necessarily a situation that anybody really wants to be in, but we're going to try to get through this as best we can. And, you all thought, and I think so too, that it's a good measure to at least not add on extra fees where we don't need to.
Now, to talk to people about what all this means, who is the right person at the township? Do we have a point person that we can delegate or designate to speak with people about their tax concerns when they want to call and find out what happens if they do pay, if they can't pay, what's going to happen?
Well, that's generally the tax collector. And, under most circumstances, she and her department do a really good job. I have to say that between the water and sewer bills and, the issues that are coming up with people of having, maybe having difficulty paying, I don't want to overwhelm the department. So I would still say that they're the point person. And, I've communicated to Lori Hammerstrom and her department that, if things are, or if they're getting overloaded with things that, certainly my office will take calls and will certainly call and talk to people as well. So, we're sort of all doing it all together, but I would say that, the tax office is the first line of calling. So, or emailing. So we get a lot of emails through the website as well. And that goes directly to the tax collector, and it comes to my office as well.
And since we all understand this is a very difficult and sensitive time with regard to payment of taxes for a lot of people, let's make sure, Catherine, that the town always has enough people that are available and resourced to talk, even if it means we need to do a little cross training or shifting or something if we seem to be getting a high volume of inquiries.
Okay.
And I really appreciate that. And Mr. Gordon, are you listening, and can you confirm for us? I read it again today. I went back and took a look again. that it is the prerogative of the state legislature and only the state legislature to determine whether taxes could be waived, and they've indicated they're not going to do that.
Yes, Mayor, I am here, and that is an accurate statement. We don't have the ability to waive taxes. I'm following the same day-to-day updates as you are that are coming down from the governor's office and from the state, and there is no authority at the current time to waive tax. So with the actions that you've taken or that you are proposed to take this evening, you are minimizing the extra costs that normally would be imposed based upon failure to pay taxes. You've taken it down as low as you can take it, assuming that you would act favorably with what's proposed this evening. But everybody still needs to make their payments. It's not a holiday. It's not a tax holiday. We have no authority to do that.
Thank you, Mr. Gordon. Does any member of the council have any questions or comments on this regard?
I have a question. This is Amanda. It was for Kathy, but I'm not sure if she's on anymore. So the tax sales at the end of June or towards the third week in June, if someone has not paid their taxes that are normally due May 1st, it goes to a third party, like a creditor would do for a credit card, I guess. So then, so say July 1st, someone has the money. Are they coming to the township to pay if it's already been sold, or?
Mr.
Yeah,
Gordon,
no, that's a great question.
Go ahead, Kath.
I am on, so it's a great question. So it, even with a third party lien on the property, our tax office is still involved and they have to be the collector of that. So if you or whoever wants to then pay those taxes July 1st or any time after, they have to come to the tax office and say that they want to pay them, and the tax office facilitates that payment. They tell them what is owed on it, and then they'll take that payment and actually then turn it over to the third party lien holder in that case. So they complete the transaction, so which is a good thing because it keeps it so that, you know, the payment is given, they're given the correct amount for one thing, and they don't have to deal with, you know, the lien holder. That's strictly done through the tax office.
And one follow-up question. When it does go to that third party, are they going to conform to our extremely low interest, or will interest start with when they buy it?
No, they conform to that. Yes, go ahead, Ron.
So yes, it's an excellent question. The interest rate that you set is the interest rate that would apply if the taxpayer were to make the payments plus interest, or if the taxpayer would make the payments to the third party lien holder plus interest.
Right.
Okay.
Anyone else?
I just want to say something real quick, just in case.
Who is it?
This is Clarabelle.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Councilwoman.
No worries. I apologize. I just wanted to say, if anyone calls Kathy that speaks Spanish and you need a translator, feel free to route it my way. I could help out any way I can.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And we may call on you for that. We have several employees who are also bilingual and speak Spanish and other languages, but you know, it doesn't mean that they're always available. So we may reach out to you as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kathy.
Kathy, while we're discussing the taxes, this might be a good time to discuss the different ways that people can pay their taxes at the present time. Can you and Justine address that? And can you, if Justine has it ready, can you show us the pictures of the new boxes that have been installed?
All right, so if Justine can bring that up, I'm not sure if she has that available or not. So we obviously, there it is. Obviously, people can still mail in their payments, and many have been doing that. They can do that for either taxes or the water and sewer bills. We also have the ability and have had the ability for folks to pay taxes or water and sewer online through our website also. And as you saw earlier tonight, there's a resolution on to credit back the processing fee that's charged for online. Just recently, we installed these drop-off boxes outside.
Kathy, can you hold on one moment? Let's fill that outside sound. Again, make sure that your microphone is muted while someone else is talking. So we seem to have some outside sound coming in.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. So the drop-off box. So you could pay it through mail. You can pay it online. You can also use these new drop-off boxes that we had installed. Just trying to encourage people to use these. These are for folks. We've had a lot of questions of people that say, "Hey, I usually walk in and drop off my payment. How do I do it now since the building is closed?" So we installed these drop-off boxes, but we would just ask that people remember, please do not put any cash payments in there. We want to make sure that even though they're, these boxes are pretty secure, we just want to make sure that any payment that comes in, if it's cash, it's not really a secure way to make that payment. So until we can open the building again, we'd rather nobody make cash payments. If you want to have a direct amount taken from your checking account without having to mail anything or pay any fee, that's where you would go online to do that, and use your checking account to pay for your bill.
And what kind of receipt process do we have for people who use the Dropbox?
So there is no receipt process there. That's why we really don't want them to use cash as well. So because if there's a check in there, the check becomes their receipt. So they'll get, the canceled check on their account.
Very good. Anyone have any questions on these lines? I think the next item is Council President Andrews.
Yeah, Mayor, this is for us, for the cooperation of the administration and our fellow council members. We decided to start switching our small vehicles over to electric vehicles. So this is related to purchasing the first two small electric vehicles for our fleet.
Thank you, Council President. Does anyone have any questions about that? All right. Anything else, Council President, under your name? All right.
Nope.
Moving on into the municipal clerk, Ms. Russo.
Good evening, everyone. We have minutes on from a regular council meeting of April 6th, 2020. Everybody's okay with those? And item number 2 is ordinance number 20-11 for second reading and public hearing. And that is all I have this evening.
Is there anything below the clerk on the agenda? I can't see it on my screen.
There is not, just to adjourn.
Is there anyone to be heard in public hearing for this part of the meeting? And Lisa, can you tell me and confirm, is our next meeting scheduled to begin at the adjournment of this meeting, or are we waiting till 7 o'clock?
It was published as the council meeting will follow the workshop.
Very good. So anybody who has, who would like to make a public comment, let me just say that under our rules of procedure, the total amount of comment time for this agenda meeting is 5 minutes to the general public. And that's for everybody. Or is it 15 minutes?
15 minutes.
15 minutes, and that would be for everyone. And you're certainly welcome to speak at this time. At the end of our next meeting, which will start immediately after this, the public hearing is 5 minutes per person, but then you can get up multiple times. So you're welcome to wait and speak after that second meeting. You're welcome to speak now, or you're welcome to speak at both meetings. But I just wanted to clarify, we do have different rules for public speaking for these two different meetings. So is there anybody who's joined us on the call and who would like to be heard at this time? Anybody from the general public? And if you do, make sure you unmute your microphone so we can see you verbally raise your hand. Is there a motion to close that public hearing if no one has spoken up?
Councilman Davis, close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is there a motion to adjourn this agenda meeting?
So moved.
Second, Councilman Davis.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Is everybody ready to go?
Yep.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Cortez?
Cortez, here.
Cortez, thank you. Dr. Lopez?
Here.
Ms. Guadagnino?
Here.
Mr. Davis?
Here.
Mr. Socio?
Here.
Mr. Andrews?
Here.
Mayor Womack?
Here. Sunshine notice, please.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by publication in the Home News and Tribune on January 2nd, 2020, indicating that the North Brunswick Township Council hold regular meetings on the first and third Monday of each month at 7 p.m. at 710 Herman Road, North Brunswick, and agenda meetings on the second and fourth Monday of the month at the same place at 7 p.m. In the event a regular meeting falls on a legal holiday, the meeting shall be held on Tuesday night after said holiday at the same place and hour.
Ms. Russo, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I will. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I don't have the agenda up on any other screen. Is there a way to move the agenda up at all? Thank you so much. Would any member of the council like to have any items removed from this evening's consent agenda? Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda items A through K?
So moved, Councilman Davis.
Council President Andrews, second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Cortez?
Yes.
Dr. Lopez?
Yes.
Ms. Guadagnino?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Socio?
Yes.
Mr. Andrews?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes of our council meeting of April 6, 2020?
So moved, Councilman Davis.
Second. Amanda?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'm trying to read it all. Can you roll the agenda up a little bit? next item, and I apologize, on the go to meeting, my microphone camera little thingy there is blocking it. The next item is a public hearing regarding performance bonds and performance bond release for, if one of you can read it, can you clarify for me who that's for?
It is M&M at North Brunswick LLC.
Mayor, I'm interrupting and conferring with Mr. Gordon, but I don't think we had published a public hearing. This is a reduction, not a release.
Mayor, it's Ron Gordon. Yes, that is a correct statement of the way that our code and ordinances work. On releases, we require public notice and a public hearing. This is a reduction, which our code does not require a public hearing on. So we should really just move straight to the resolution, and the governing body should take whatever action they're going to take on reduction of the bond.
And
Thank you, sorry.
I'm sorry, that resolution number is 135-4.20.
Well, then, moving forward in the future, it would be nice if we could get the agenda set correct. Yeah, Lisa, we need you to confer with people because Mac's reading what's there.
Understood.
Well, sort of not, because I can't read it on the screen in front of me. Council President, are you able to read the agenda that's in front of us on the screen? I apologize for the electronic failure on my screen here.
Yes, I am, Mayor.
Could you conduct this part then?
Okay, she just scrolled it down. It says performance, authorizing private improvements, performance bond. We just did that one, so she just move it up, I guess, to the ordinances on first reading introduction.
Wait, we didn't approve that yet, Ralph.
We need to do a roll call on resolution number 135-4.20
Okay.
for that performance bond.
So it's Ron Gordon. First, you need a mover and a seconder.
I will
Can I
move.
get a motion to approve the performance bond reduction?
So moved, Councilman Socio.
Second, Councilwoman Amanda.
Roll call?
Ms. Cortez?
Yes.
Dr. Lopez?
Yes.
Ms. Guadagnino?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Socio?
Yes.
Mr. Andrews?
Yes. Ordinance on first reading and introduction.
Ordinance
20-12.
number 20-12, and ordinance amending chapter 356 of the Code of the Township of North Brunswick, entitled Wreckers, section 356-21, rates for towing and storage and services.
Can I get a motion to introduce ordinance 20-12?
So moved.
Roll
Second.
call?
Ms. Cortez?
Yes.
Dr. Lopez?
Yes.
Ms. Guadagnino?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Socio?
Yes.
Mr. Andrews?
Yes. Ordinance on first reading, 20-13.
Number 20-13, an ordinance amending and supplementing chapter 334, vehicles and traffic of the Code of the Township of North Brunswick, authorizing the police to enforce Title 39 of the New Jersey Vehicle Code in Renaissance Forest Park, Renaissance Greens, Renaissance Glen, Renaissance Manor, Renaissance Maybrook, and Renaissance Terrace.
Can I get a motion to approve ordinance 20-13?
So moved, Councilman Davis.
Second.
Gotta say your name, Carlo.
Voice.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Cortez?
Yes.
Dr. Lopez?
Yes.
Ms. Guadagnino?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Socio?
Yes.
Mr. Andrews?
You want to answer that phone, please? Ordinance on second reading of public hearing, 20-11.
Ordinance number 20-11, second reading and public hearing. An ordinance of North Brunswick in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey, to acquire by negotiated agreement real property known and designated as tax block 224, lot 21, on the official tax map of the Township of North Brunswick, Middlesex County, New Jersey, located on Old George's Road for governmental purposes.
Is there anyone online that would like to be heard in public hearing on ordinance 20-11? Having heard anyone, no one, can I get a motion to approve ordinance 20-11?
So moved, Davis.
Second, Socio.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Cortez?
Yes.
Dr. Lopez?
Yes.
Ms. Guadagnino?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Socio?
Yes.
Mr. Andrews?
Yes. Okay, Mayor, can you read that?
Public hearing? No, reports from mayor, council, or administrator. Council President, starting with you. Anybody have anything they'd like to report or discuss this evening? And Council President, thank you very much for taking over that for me.
Council President, there's a couple of things, if I may.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mac and I had discussed this earlier today. For some reason, all the Social Security offices were closed on March the 16th. For some reason or another, Lisa was not given that information until today, which I can't understand. So what we'll do is I will have Craig put up on the website and any other areas. There are two websites that the Social Security Department gave. One.
No, it's all over.
What? I'm sorry. Oh,
It's all
okay. So there are two of them. One is will give you the full press release, and the second one will give you the office nearest you. And they also have, you can ask questions on that. I happen to check it today, but I'm just so surprised that we haven't received it, but we will put it up. I'll have Craig put it on everything that we need. And if there are any questions in that regard, maybe Lisa, could that come to your office or on the one that we just received today? Lisa? Yeah. Okay. And I'm sorry. And the second thing is that the governor was on today, and I happened to catch part of it. And
they asked for anybody to check.
Everyone make sure to mute your phones if you're not speaking. And when we ask for comments from the public, everyone feel free to unmute your phone at that time. Councilman Davis?
Okay, thanks, Mayor. And also, there's a new website that's up, and I'll also have Craig put it on there. It was the governor brought it up today. It's covid19.newjersey.gov/testing. And what it does is it will give you, if you're interested, an update on testing in all the different municipalities, et cetera. So I know I did that really quickly, but going back, it's covid19.nj.gov/testing. But we will, once again, I'll have Craig put all of that up on the website, Channel 15, et cetera. That's it, Council President. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Council President. Any other members of the council have any comments they'd like to make this evening?
Mayor, if I may, Council President Andrews.
Yes, sir.
Yes, and Amanda, when I'm sort of get finished with my statement, if you'd like to chime in on this with any. Amanda and I have been watching social media online, and we both mentioned this morning, and it's very important to the mayor and the council. We've noticed that there's a lot of comments about the water bill. The township made a decision to do an infrastructure upgrade for various things, and one of the upgrades is the 12,000 water meters in town. We've been noticing, it's something that we discussed a lot of things. It was something that we didn't anticipate, that some of the billings seem to be lagging, and there's some other issues which seem to be showing up, which are creating bills that residents get, which are higher than they would expect. They're more than they were the last quarter. We're finding that a lot of these issues are related to bills being extended such that they end up being for maybe 5 and 6 months. And then there's been some other issues where they've gotten some extremely high bills. We want everyone to know we're aware of this. We take it very seriously. There's no hike in water bills. There's nothing that's irregular in that sense. It's just a matter of us not anticipating some of these lags and things that have happened in the process of this switchover. And we will address it. We're working on it now. We're going to have some additional discussions, and we're going to give everyone will be taken care of to their satisfaction. I mean, there may be some issues where you have some issues in your own home, but I mean, I've read things about leaks and stuff. There's a way to determine that. You can shine a flashlight on your meter and it should have a low flow. If there is a flow through it, it should show it if it's flowing. But we're going to address all these things, and we encourage you to be patient with us. But if you need to get in touch with us, please call us at the Township. And this isn't going away. We're going to take care of it for you.
Thank you, Council President. Did you want to chime in, Councilwoman Guadagnino?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, as Ralph mentioned, we have been trying to answer questions on social media as best we can. Unfortunately, we don't have access to everyone's bills from our houses, so we can't answer your specific questions or know exactly what's going on with each resident's bill. But like Council President Andrews mentioned, please call. I know everyone is home and we have a lot of extra time. And so it's very easy to go on social media and create hysteria with other residents, which might not be the best option at this moment. And it's definitely not going to have the answer that you're looking for by doing that. So I encourage you to stay positive. Obviously, there have been some mistakes. There are humans doing the paperwork at times, so we do make mistakes every once in a while. We apologize for that. We do want everyone to be satisfied with their billing. So if you think that there is an issue, please call. It's unnecessary to create hysteria on social media. It's frustrating on my end because a lot of the information is incorrect, and then that wrong information is being fed to the hundreds or even thousands of people that are reading a post, and that's just not fair to the rest of the residents to provide false information. So from the few residents that have contacted me personally, and I've got their information to the Township, they have come back to me and said, thank you so much, the bill has been fixed. There was a quick error, they fixed it right away and the bill's back to normal. Or it was an issue where it seemed like the bill was double, but it was actually double the time period. So it really wasn't an increase at all. It was just a longer time frame. So I have gotten good feedback from residents who have called and gotten their bills fixed. So I please encourage you to do that if you think that there's something wrong. We are here to help you. We are here to answer your questions. We'll do the best we can. And just please call. Thank you.
I think that extension is 206, correct, Amanda? It's 732-297-0922, and I think it's extension 206, correct?
247-0922, extension 206, correct.
Okay.
Thank you both, and thank you, Councilman Davis, for joining Council President and Councilwoman Guadagnino and working as a task force to try to make sure we get this straight. So we really do appreciate all of your efforts on this.
Thank you, Matt.
Anyone else who wanted, and by the way, Councilwoman Guadagnino, with that was a good impersonation of Ms. Benson there, as you said, stay positive. So we all recognize that. Is there anyone else who'd like, any directors or other council members who'd like to make any comments this evening?
Mayor, if I will.
Yes, go right ahead, Doctor.
Hey, how are you? This is Dr. William Lopez. I just want to thank everybody for staying in their homes and doing what they are supposed to be doing. But also, I want to acknowledge that we are going on about 6 weeks of this distancing. And I know it's getting frustrating and people are getting antsy, but the best course of action is to continue to stay home and and quarantine. We'll all get through this. I know right now that the nation is in mourning, the town's in mourning. We are mourning our friends, our loved ones, and also we are mourning the loss of the normalcy that we have. But the more that we attempt to comply and do our part, the easier and the faster we will to get through this. I say this from seeing it in person daily. We are doing our part, but just because it's been a long time doesn't mean that we should stop doing that. It's uncomfortable, but we should all do our part to get through this. That's all.
Dr. Will, I know I speak for the whole council and the whole town when I say how much we truly appreciate your efforts, the efforts of every single medical provider. I know you're going to Staten Island University Hospital daily. I just know that there are just so many heroes amongst us right now, and you're one of them. First aid rescue squad, fire, police, and the medical professionals that it's even difficult to discuss how much our heartfelt thanks is. So thank you, Dr. Lopez.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Is there anyone, if there's no other council members or directors who'd like to be heard, is there anyone who's with us who would like to be heard in public hearing? This is the time to to unmute your microphone and speak right up if you'd like to be heard. This is for the general public. We just want to be real clear.
Yeah, I was just wondering what anything taken care of with this quick check on Route 130.
Okay, and let's just, for the record, if you can just give us your name so the clerk can record it, we'll be glad to address that.
Sure. Ron Scoletti.
Thank you, Mr. Scoletti. Director Rich, you're still with us. What procedurally has occurred with regard to the application for, is it quick check on Route 130?
Yes, Mayor. The application remains carried indefinitely. The Zoning Board of Adjustment has canceled its meetings for March and April, and I anticipate we'll be canceling the May meeting as well. So at this point, the meeting is simply carried, the application is carried, and we will certainly announce to the public the time and manner that it will be rescheduled. I just don't think that can be anticipated right now until the governor begins to relax the stay-at-home orders.
And we are, Mr. Ritz and I have recently discussed, and I know Mr. Gordon has given thought to the fact that we are aware of many people who want to be heard when that matter does come before the appropriate zoning board, and the manner in which we can most effectively conduct that hearing is going to be something we're going to give a lot of thought to, and it's not going to happen until we're sure that everybody who wants to be heard can be heard.
That's very good news. I'll have to tell the BP owner, and when I get gas, and I'll have to tell the 7-Eleven guy when I go up there to get the lottery. They didn't know anything about this meeting.
Yeah, and if they have any questions, they're free to call us anytime just through the township, and any of us will be glad to speak with them about the schedule.
I'm just going to relay what you both said. That's okay with me.
Great. Thank you for coming in tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Are there any other members of the public who would like to be heard this evening? Let me just look down the list. All right, this is the last chance. If anybody would like to be heard, this is the time to unmute your microphone and speak up. Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved, Davis.
Second, Sochi.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And Councilwoman Cortez, would you like the pleasure of making the motion to dismiss, to adjourn our meeting for the evening?
Yes, thank you. I would like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second, Guadagnino.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, everyone. Have a really nice night.
Good night, everyone.